All right, so when you have a nice big ass hearty bowl of soup in front of you, ditch the small spoon and get yourself a big ass hearty one. Okay, let's prep our ingredients. We are starting with 2 medium carrots, and you can peel them if you want, but no need, just a scrub and a wash will do just fine. Cut the ends off and cut into small, bite-sized chunks. With the fatter end of the carrot, you'll just have to slice and cut into it more to get smaller pieces. Once done, place in a bowl. Next up is 2 celery stalks, cut the ends and cut into small bite-sized chunks again, and place in the bowl. Next, half of a small to medium sweet onion, finely chop it up, and you know what to do, place in the bowl. Garlic is next, and I actually like to keep the cloves whole and thinly slice them, but you can definitely finely chop them up as well. I would go with 3 to 4 cloves of garlic and place in the bowl with the other vegetables. Swiss chard, something I had growing in our garden as a kid, and I remember this stuff going into all kinds of soups. Wasn't too crazy about Swiss chard growing up, but I'm a big fan of it now. I like to just cut the ends off, and I use the stems. You don't need to use the stems, you can just use the leaves. It's your choice, but the stems are great, so I say use them. Finally chop up the stems, and when you get to the leaves, you'll have to chop them up a bit more as they are very large, and you don't want to pull out a long wilted Swiss chard leaf out of your soup. At least I don't, but maybe you do. Next, little meatballs, but instead of making meatballs from scratch, a great, fast, easy, and delicious way is to use sausage. They're already filled with so much flavor. I have 2 hot sausages, and I'm gonna remove the casings, and then I'm gonna roll up itty bitty tiny meatballs. Now, you can make your meatballs larger, and you can also just crumble the sausage meat up as well if you want, but I'm making baby meatballs over here, and look, there they are. Time to cook. In a large pot on medium to high heat, add 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and once the oil is hot, add the meatballs and brown them up nicely so they crisp up a little bit as well. Don't worry if they're not fully cooked when you remove them, because they will finish cooking when we put them back into the soup. As you remove them, you'll see the bottom of the pot has fawned, all that brown sticky bits. That's all flavor, and that will all get released later into the soup. Now we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter and that bowl of vegetables with carrot, celery, onions, and garlic. Season with salt, freshly cracked pepper, chili flakes if you want for some extra heat, and mix and saute the vegetables for a few minutes. Now before we add the stock, you can add a nice splash of white wine for extra flavor. Of course, this is an optional step. You'll see when you add the wine that it'll start to release the fond on the bottom of the pan. But don't worry if you don't use wine, the stock will do that as well. If your homemade chicken stock jiggles like jello, you did a great job. I have some leftover homemade chicken stock I'm using, and the rest I have to use some store-bought. And that's totally fine. I'm gonna say about a total of 900 mils of chicken stock that I used, and vegetable stock is fine as well. And then I'm gonna add 1 bay leaf to the pot, and then we're gonna add a Parmigiano Reggiano rind. This is a great little secret weapon to add to soups and sauces, so save the rinds. There's just so much flavor, and the whole thing is totally edible. And another little secret weapon that I absolutely love is porcini powder, and I'm gonna add about 3 tablespoons to the pot. You can buy porcini powder already made, but if you can't, you can definitely make your own. It's very easy. All you have to do is buy dried porcini mushrooms and add it to a spice grinder, a food processor, or even a blender, and blitz until it becomes a powder. That's it. And you'll thank me later. You'll be using this stuff in everything. Mix the soup, top with a lid, and simmer on medium heat for about 10 to 15 minutes, and the vegetables will have softened a little bit, and now you can add the meatballs in, and a can of cannellini beans that I drained and rinsed. Then we're gonna add the Swiss chard, mix, and then cover with a lid, and bring the heat down to low to medium, and cook for about 30 to 40 minutes. After 30 or 40 minutes, if the vegetables are nice and tender, everything should be done. So just give a taste, adjust any seasonings, remove the bay leaf. Now you can remove the Parmigiano Reggiano rind, but it's totally edible, like I said before, and it's so chewy and delicious. So I highly suggest to leave it in, and whoever gets it gets a nice chewy little surprise. And trust me, they will be happy because it is so delicious. Then you can plate your soup up, drizzle a little extra virgin olive oil on top, grate as much Parmigiano Reggiano on top, and bring it to the table. This is a big, hearty bowl of soup. I love it. So much flavor. And what I love are the little meatballs, the beans, of course the Swiss chard, but what I really, really like is leaving that Parmigiano Reggiano rind in. Not only does it add so much flavor while cooking, but you can break it up, and when you serve it to everybody, everybody gets their little surprise of their Parmigiano Reggiano rind. It's a little bit chewy, but holy, it is so good. I love this soup. I hope you give it a go, and as always, the full recipe is in the description link below. Please like and comment. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, ciao.